Greetings everyone, welcome aboard. Joseph James, schooltrade.com. It's August 18th, 2010. August 18th? Is it almost the end of August? I know a lot of you guys are, right? We're torn, right? I don't want to see the end of August come. That means the end of the summertime. But remember, the closer we get to September, right, the better the volume picks up. And we're obviously, as traders, we are waiting patiently, right, for that fall to come and we can get that better price action back. But guys, meanwhile, thank you guys for coming out and joining me today. We had a great day in the room today. Over 200 ticks. And we really nailed those trades well today, guys. I must admit, the members did a great job this morning trading along with me. We'll talk about that in a second here, though. But I want to remind you guys, on the blog, we post articles, videos, right? Trade calls. We called three winning trades on the blog today, guys. Right? 3 winning trades on the blog. Okay, so if you can't be in our live trade room, okay, don't forget, follow the blog. Use the search box. Don't forget, we've all got live support on the blog as well. And remember, our YouTube page, our Facebook page, guys, we got lots of great stuff on our social media that's not covered on the blog. So make sure you guys make yourself comfortable, right? Get to the blog and make sure you guys follow the blog that we get all the new stuff that comes out. Big day today. 230 ticks, 2310, guys, our biggest day of the month. So we had a couple signs in the market this morning that kind of gave us a heads up that today might be a big day, and we'll talk about that in a second. But 231 ticks though, guys. As you can see, pretty much everything this morning on crude. We had some big winners on crude scalpers. We had some big day trade winners on crude. We had a gold winner on the scalp, a gold day trade winner as well. So we really kind of shook it up a lot. And of course, no stops today either. That brings our weekly total to 3688. Our monthly total to 16,000, guys. 16,000 in August. We are on fire right now this summer, and that brings the totals of 122,000, just shy of 123,000 here for the year of 2010. Let's keep moving. Now, what's the most important thing that happened today? Well, guys, I didn't talk about it today in the room, but today was Wacky Wednesday, right? OPEX week. Now, this is one of those OPEX weeks that really kind of slides by us. Most of the big money in the market is on their private yacht, right, out the Hamptons right now. So we don't really get the OPEX of normal, right? In the month of August, the OPEX is usually going to be pretty quiet. But today was Wacky Wednesday. Now, if you want to know more information about Wacky Wednesday, go to the blog right now. And in that search box in the upper right-hand corner, type in Wacky Wednesday. And you'll watch the last video we did about Wacky Wednesday, and we'll talk all about it. But Wacky Wednesday is usually when we see some pretty good volume, of course, in anticipation of OPEX Friday. Now, here's where we made our money today, though. We saw right away this morning at about 8:15 an outside day. Now, what's an outside day? An outside day is when the trading range today exceeds the trading range yesterday, right? It trades outside the trading range yesterday. So we saw an outside day on the dollar. And when we see the dollar moving, what do we know? We know the rest of these markets are also going to move. So an outside day on the dollar, and we'll talk about it in a second, that really gave us that strong confirmation that this is going to be a pretty good day. We saw a horseshoe pattern on crude, so we spent a lot of time this morning on crude preparing for it, and I'm glad we did because we nailed those trades on crude this morning. Great job to the members out there. And of course, the euro, same situation, but the euro didn't really have the same moves that the crude did. Now remember, today was a Wednesday, so we had crude oil inventories on Wednesdays, so that's usually going to help out, right? That it'll be the catalyst, of course, that'll get crude moving. So we had horseshoe patterns, we'll talk about that in a second. And then don't forget, right, OPEX is on Friday, so the rest of the week should be a little bit crazy. All right, Thursday won't be too bad, but Friday will be a pretty crazy day. All right, so we should have some fun here, right, at the end of the week here, guys, going into OPEX. Now, let's start first with crude, though, because this is where we made all of our money today was on crude. We took a couple trades on gold, but we really focused on crude today because the Russell wasn't really doing very well, right? Euro wasn't moving very well either. Gold was pretty quiet. We'll talk about that in a second. So we naturally began with crude because crude was the one that was moving the most this morning. Now, here's what we ended up finding. Now, before we talk about what we found here, though, remember, guys, how do we treat this? Right? Sideways range. We're going to sell the highs, right? We're going to buy the lows. Okay, if we break to the upside, we're going to buy these lows, right? Because that's going to be in the bracket above us. Okay, that will be in the bracket above us. There's a bracket above us. So we'll buy the lows of the bracket above us. All right, and then, of course, sell the highs of this bracket. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to buy the lows and we're going to sell the highs. Now, check out our chart here, guys. This is my 34 range chart. And my 34 range chart, as you can see right here, we've marked up, right, your sideways range. There's my highs, there's my lows. And so with that sideways range, we told ourselves this morning, I'm going to be a seller If we break below 75, okay, so less than 75, I'm going to be a seller, right? 75 even, 75.00. Or above 75.00, I'm going to be a buyer. All right. Now we also, of course, up top here, said the same thing, right? Below 76.82, we'd be a seller. Above 77, we'd be a buyer. Okay, we never got up that high today, but we did, though, make a bunch of money here trading around the 75 area. And guys, again, let's remember, what are those exact numbers here again? Right? Above 75, we're buyers. Below 75, we're going to be sellers. And guys, that's exactly what we did. Now watch what happens. We immediately now, right, we tumble down to the 75s. Now look here where we are. This is a 4-range chart. On my 4-range chart, this is going to be my fastest time frame. It's a scalper's time frame. But ultimately, I'm going to use my 4-range chart knowing that I should be what? Buying at 75s. I'm going to take my 34 range chart that will show me where the area is, right? So the 34 range says look to buy at 75s. But what it doesn't tell me is where to get in, right? Where do I get long above 75s? Now I use my faster time frame. We call this drilling down, right? I'm going to drill down now, right? I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to focus on the faster time frame. And now here we are. Here's 75 right here. Right, there's my 75. So we come down, we're going to bounce off 75. Now I know at this point, right, it's the low of day. And I also know that 75 is what? The bottom of that range. So naturally here, I'm going to mark up my swing high, take the break above that swing high for my first trade of the day. Now this one was a small, almost a scratch trade here. But the way we manage our trades is the way we make our money. Now, guys, one of the best ways to make money is to be able to, of course, earn profit in any condition. Whether the market's sideways, trending, fast or slow, if it's got a bunch of trading range or just a little bit of trading range. Great example here of where the market didn't give us very much to work with. We would take profit, of course, at this trend line. But I got my first profit target filled at +5. We took 2 off at 5, moved my stop to entry +1, and took 2 off at 1. Okay, so of course, took 2 off at 5 is 10. Plus 2 is 12, times 10 is 120 USD. So on the first trade of the day, we knew we had to buy the lows at 75, and that's exactly what I did. And we made 120 USD literally half an hour later. So we took some time to plan ahead, and we went ahead and bought at 75. You can see here there are a couple more patterns. Here's another one, right? That's a second two-step. Okay, but of course at 9 o'clock now, though, you got crude oil opening up here. Right, things got a little bit whippy, and you can see momentum down bottom was pointing down. So we didn't take the second one. I took the first one, made my 12 ticks. But then what happened? Then we break the downside. Right, so the two-step pattern didn't last very long. The reversal off those lows didn't last very long. It comes tumbling back down. And remember, what are we going to do below 75? You guessed it, we're going to be a seller. So now here we are. We break below 75. I mark up my swing low. And just like we said earlier, I'm going to sell below 75. There's my sell short at 9:32, just after the U.S. Open, right? This one was called live on the blog. And if you took this, obviously, you made your 330 USD as a scalper, right? This is a scalp entry. So just after the 9:30 U.S. Open, we wait for the 9:30 U.S. Open, 9:32, 74.77 was the fill. As we come on down, I took a target at +5. This is a scalper's time frame, right? This is a 4-range chart. So I take my scalper's time frame, right? +4, +8, +5, +10. Here I got +5, +10. Okay, so 2 off at 5 is 10, +10 is 20, +13 is 33, another 330 USD. So guys, it doesn't get any easier than this, right? We said I'm going to buy 75s or I'll sell below 74.99. So then, of course, once I see us test 75s, I zoom in on my fast time frame. I look for the entry pattern on my 4 range, my 8 range, my 13 range, my 1 minute, my 3 minute. Doesn't matter. Just something a little bit faster to see that pattern. And then we broke below 75, knowing now I'm now in the bracket below us. We break below 75, and I'm looking to be a seller. All right, and that's all I did, guys. I simply look for the entry below 75. We take it. You could pretty much close your eyes and hit the short button on that one, right? Everybody made money on that one. But as you can see, though, guys, there's 400. What is that? 12 plus 33, right? 45. This is 450 bucks. All right, just by simply identifying where you're looking for your trades and then waiting for the trade to come to you.